2000年前、神話の時代。
Kille from the Fate series.
人の国を滅亡させ、精霊の森を焼き払い、神々すら殺して。
I love how they use the very start of the episode to nicely set up the overwhelming imbalance in the power structure right off the bat. He's very, very powerful. Get that into your brain right away so there's no shock. Citywide gorgeous sinewy shot. I should also mention I did do a Sins version for this anime a long time ago, so I'm covering this again since it was voted in on Patreon. Also, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on season 2, do you?
入学予定の皆さんの中には魔王の生まれ変わりと目される混沌の世代もおります。
I also like how they again set things up nicely with the coming characters. It's narration done well when it's covered so succinctly.
ようこそ魔王学院へ。
Moving multiple characters within one frame.
頑張れミーシャーフレーミーシャー
Good dad related win of wholesomeness.
皇族は試験免除できんのに親父は考えが古くてさ試験なんてかったりいよな皇族なのに
Using the super simple scene to let us know the position royals are in, feeling they're above exams, pushing into a fellow student. It's simplistic but says a lot. Banned from 7 Deadly Sins and a whole bunch of other stuff. Most recently, the terribly performing Tokyo Revengers on my channel. If you're watching this, please do me a favour and check that out. It's like YouTube chose to send it to 12 subscribers. It's insane how poorly it did. I'll link it in the description.
頑張ってね
Fight!
His parents get a win right off the bat. They're so nice. They add such a wholesomeness to this anime, especially his mother.
いつから魔王学院は子供の遊び場になったんだ
Mitsurugi from Konosuba, and before you look it up, he's the hilarious dude in the armor that tries to help a perfectly fine Aqua and Casimir steals his sword. By the way, I've covered that too, but that performed very well, so only watch it if you fancy it. Ah, who am I kidding? You should watch it. I did a great job on that video.
おい貴様だ貴様魔力が小さすぎて目に入らなかった
Bruh, it's such a good burn from him to start off the episode, but a legit one too. He really is like an ant in comparison. I love it.
早くしねえと神々すら焼き尽くすと言われたこの闇の炎で
Two wins here. Firstly, it's for his display of power. A gentle blow from that distance wipes it out. Secondly, take a win for the animation style in general. I find it incredibly bright, crisp and clean, and just pleasing on the eyes.
待てこれ式の言霊にも従うのか
Bro, you can't even tell me that that's not freaking awesome.
おっと逃げられないのがそんなに心配か何お前が逃げられないのではかわいそうだと思っただけだ
You know, it occurs to me that he is a character perfectly done for this style of anime. You can either do like Saitama, the big softy and laid-back casual hero in One Punch Man, or you can do it like here, the soon-to-be big softy, laid-back, overwhelmingly confident hero. It becomes a pleasure to watch for an entirely different reason when it's done like that. You feel safe in their presence within the storyline. You're watching for pleasure, to see the hero succeed with extreme prejudice. But when done right, it's just as entertaining as any other anime done normally or differently.
このハンマーの鎧はどんな魔法も封じるなるほどな
I always enjoy when the lore is expanded. Much like in Black Clover, I dig how wearables like this exist that can enhance a fighter's abilities or protect them. Not against him, but in general, really.
行動不能ってことは殺しちまってもいいってことだよなマケンゼフリード
Genuinely awesome looking effects on this weapon. He only went and did it again. Obviously can't show it, but my boy essentially uses his heartbeat to mess this guy up. So much internal red body juices everywhere.
加減しても死ぬかインガル
Brilliant how they changed the tone of the music to become more dark and hopeless as we witness what can only be described as a sheer spectacle of insane strength, wiping him out with a click of his fingers and bringing him right back.
3秒以内にインガルを使えばリスクなしで蘇生できるこれが俗に言う3秒ルールだ外したか 2000年前は鉄板のジョークだったのだが
Fear not, bruh. We can collectively enjoy the joke.
興味なしか。ではもう一回ぐらい殺しておくぞ。
待ってくれ。俺の負けだ。
Brilliant scene overall. Again, it deserves another win for what I pointed out during win number 20, and that's how well his power is put on display. It really fits into the tone the anime is going for and why people enjoy it so much.
ならば合格祝いに我が家に寄っていかぬか。母さんがごちそうを作って待っているだろうからな。
いいの？
俺が誘っているのだ。
I remember I always liked that reply because it's so rarely uttered in anime, but it plays into his confidence always on display.
ガト。
Brilliant mixture of CGI and hand animation.
いらっしゃい。あ、おかえりなさい。
ただいま母さん。
どうだった？
合格したよ。
You know, it occurs to me that a very unique win for this anime is that he actually has a family that he genuinely loves and cares for, and later on friends to whom he feels the same. By using this, the writer is almost able to have his OP-ness take a back seat sometimes in the story, and make us feel tension during certain moments by using those close to him. Nothing would be more boring than having a Saitama without Genos and Anos without family and friends.
生まれて1ヶ月で学院に合格しちゃうなんて、本当にどうしてそんなに賢いの？
That!
ミーシャネクロンだ。今日学院で知り合った。
よろしく。まだ1ヶ月なのに。
Forgot about that.
私たちが寂しがるのを知って一緒に連れてきてくれたのよ。
Awesome display of how much he does care about them, that when he knew how much they'd missed their son, he brought them along too. Says a lot about him.
どうした？
しゃがんで。
こうか？
よしよし、友達。
違ったか？
嬉しい。
Kawaii!
惨めな負け姿を晒すような弱者はインドゥ家に不要である。
Great use of CGI and an excellent looking art style change.
しか伝えられぬ近所である。
ほう、起源魔法か。
I genuinely forgot just how impressive looking the CGI is in this anime. Like, they continuously use it in just the best of ways. Very Demon Slayer-ish.
起源魔法は起源そのものに影響を与えることはできない。つまり俺には効かぬ。
Take a win here too for the music. Like, it never stands out amazingly well, but it's perfect alongside the scenes to boost what's occurring in them.
だが地獄のような苦しみの中でも相手を互いを思いやるのが家族というものではないか。兄として弟として過ごした日々がお前たちにもあったはずだ。
This was an oddly beautiful and poetic statement from him, really resonating with everything mentioned prior to now about how he feels about his own family, but done in the usual great Anos style.
呼べ、弟の名を呼べと言っている。
This for me was the moment the anime gripped me, was seeing him and his little brother as kids. It became an entirely different anime in my mind after that, so hats off to him for it.
ゾンビになれば正気を失う。まったく世話の焼ける奴らだ。
His power is just like beautiful to witness. He's more like a god just walking around.
魔力測定と適正検査の結果を表している。多角形の頂点が増えるほど有料。
Lots of tasty lore right there. The writer didn't have to do that. Nice.
貴様はこれまでどれだけの人間を殺してきた。魔王アノス・ボルディゴード。
Gyutaru from Demon Slayer Season 2. To save you looking, that was the brother from the brother-sister combo.
たとえ魔族が滅びようとも人間はまた新たな敵を作るだろう。精霊、神々、そして最後には人間同士で争い始める。
Starting this episode off with yet more tasty lore, building the world at large, the different groups and the raging war and so on.
平和のために死ぬというのか。
完全に滅びるわけではない。次に転生できるとしたら2000年後といったところか。
Just like before with his comments on family, this moment also stood out to me as an example of extreme kindness within him, which obviously makes him very likable and thus plays into the OP theme, much the same as it does with Saitama.
もしお前が2000年後に生まれ変わることがあるとすれば、
その時は友人として。
That final sentiment shared between them and the following music just deserves a win. Talk about building an awesome scene.
よし、お前の名前は
アノス・ボルディゴードだ。
Totally forgot about that. Great OP right there with an awesomely catchy song and fantastic visuals focusing on introducing key characters and then mixing loads of brilliant CGI with animation towards the second half. Looked and sounded great.
2組の担任を務めますエミリア・ルードウェルです。
Kawaii! I swear I'm struggling to get over just how awesome some of the CGI is. It's so rare on anime wins for so many wins to be given out for CGI.
自分が希望するリーダーのもとへ移動してください。
姉のもとへ行きたいなら行っていいぞ。
アノスの班がいい。友達だから。
Another appealing aspect is definitely that the writer made the correct decision in my mind anyway to have them all believe another demon lord is the true lord and thus he is an outcast at the start. It makes things way more interesting.
どうして？
お前にできることが俺にできないと思ったか？
He's so freaking cool!
お前が勝ったら？
私のものになりなさい。私、自分の所有物は大切にするタイプなの。あなたのこともちゃんと可愛がってあげるわ。
I'll say the same thing I probably said 18 months ago when I first watched it. I don't mind where this is going. I'm so predictable, even to myself.
そんなバカな。
この城を持ち上げてます。
うまく受け身を取れ。
I remember this! Oh, that's so good, man!
おじけづいている場合じゃないわ。敵の力を認めなさい。こんなところで恥をさらすために魔王学院に入ったんじゃないでしょう。視力を尽くして臨みなさい。
This speech of hers saying a lot about herself, how she is also fit to be a leader alongside a later follower of his naturally, and then the music is just stunning and emotional afterwards.
各自の特性を生かしながらそれぞれの魔力を出し10倍以上に引き上げる集団魔法。
ジオクレイ
ス！褒美をくれてやろう。
Those effects, though!
いつか強くなって絶対にあなたを殺すわよ。
殺したぐらいで死ぬなら俺は2000年前にとうに死んでいる。
I love that. It's like that phrase later on. I'll point it out when we get to it.
ごちそうにするわね。
ああ、それとまた客人を連れてきたのだが。
That amazingly stark contrast between him being super chill and her so over the top.
なんだと。
This! I always talk about stuff like this. I just really enjoy the downtime, them all eating and laughing and relaxing together as wholesome music plays. I really cannot explain how much I enjoy little bits like that.
もしも運命が決まっていたら、あなたはどうする？
どうでもよいことなら気にはしないが気に入らなければ帰るだろうな。
Excellent foreshadowing right there for a good few solid episodes down the line. Never noticed that the first time. A classically great ED, great song with a really nice tune to it, and of course just simple visuals. Not much else to say, have a win! That's a surprisingly gorgeous looking nighttime shot right there.
誰も私の視界に入ろうとしない中、あなただけが私のそばにいてくれた。
This sweet flashback moment between the sisters, which just makes that later moment all the better for its shock value. So good, it got like 2 sins off on the other version, I think. There's some seriously badass looking armor in this anime, surprisingly, considering it takes place mostly at the school, I mean, but this one takes the cake.
よう、アイビス、久しぶりだな。忘れているのなら思い出させてやる。
Anos being Anos with extreme prejudice.
起源魔法レバイドだ。局所的に時間を遡り、お前が忘れていた2000年前の記憶を引っ張り出した。
I think it's very clever how magic is dealt with in this one. It's not, let's come up with a name and then add in an effect. It's actually set out. There's different types, for example, and spells within each type, and others can be made to be stronger, and so on and so forth.
班ごとにダンジョンに置かれた魔法具や武器、防具などを集め、その得点を競います。
None of these are CGI, which means they put in the time and effort to draw each and every single one of them. Hats off to them for that dedication.
隠し通路だ。早く来い。
Gotta love him. Dude straight up walks through the wall.
魔法が効かぬなら。
赤力ね。
Then using brute strength like here, showing he's even powerful in that way. Plus I gotta say, I adore her little clapping sections. Can't let that go by without getting mentioned.
サーシャ、あげる。誕生日だから。私、何にも用意してないわ。私はいらない。
Her sister is so selfless and it's written so well for what's coming. I cannot tell you how much it shocked me following all this love and everything.
もう出てきちゃったの？
何の真似だ、サーシャ。
男なんて単純ね。
Right. Here's that moment. So firstly, take a win for him still not breaking his casual character even when faced with this. That was the best thing ever. He's still so calm. Maybe because he holds the power of life and death in his very hands, but still, it's fantastic. Next up is a double win, maximum amount, because that shocked me so much you have no idea. My mouth was open in shock, it came out of nowhere. Absolutely god level plot twist that was. Loved it.
腑に落ちぬな。そいつを持ち帰ったところで、所有権は班リーダーの俺にあるはずだが。
Oh, then he sees right through her plan.
何度騙されたってそうやって信じてくるあなたのいい子ぶりっ子なところが虫唾走るくらいに大嫌いだったわ。
Credit to her voice actor right there. She does a brilliant job throughout, no less. Take one here for all of the voice acting too. As usual, they absolutely nailed every casting choice. But naturally, individual wins will still go out for my favourites.
だけあれば逃げるには十分だわ。
Oh my god, he's so freaking powerful!
根源を融合する魔法は長続きせぬ。魔法で分離したお前たちも同じで、いずれは一つに戻る。
See what I meant during an earlier win about creating different types of magic to be used within the story? Doesn't half keep things entertaining when you can whip them out like here.
15年が私の一生。思い出が欲しかった。でも、いないものとみなされた私にアノスが話しかけてくれた。友達になってくれた。私の一生には奇跡が起きた。
I forgot about this genuinely heartbreaking sentiment that she was okay with only being alive for 15 years and felt that was long enough for her. But then she couldn't create and enjoy any moments or make any memories because no one would interact with her. Ugh, that's horrible, man.
私がアノスと友達になって。
バカめ。大バカ者め。最後の瞬間まで明日があると思って生きよ。
Seeing his true kind nature on display in this rare moment. Between those fluid-looking movements and the gorgeous music alongside the excellent effects, they can have a very rare 2 wins for that.
いつも一人ぼっちで過ごしていた。あなたは運命だって言うけれど、それを変える魔法があると思ってずっと研究してきた。
Then this wonderful reveal that her sister was secretly, all these many years, purely trying to find a way to repay her sister's kindness for saving her as a child and giving her a life worth living.
15年、私は十分に生きた。残りの人生はあなたにあげるわ。発動の条件は一つだけ。あなたが私を拒絶すること。
Then of course definitely worthy of a follow-up win is understanding why she was so cruel and what the justification was behind it all these years, building up to this very epic moment. Brilliant.
私はあなたのことがずっとずっと大好きだった。ベルト。バイバイ。
I swear I honestly forgot just how well done these incredibly sweet moments are. I don't think I even got remotely emotional the first time. Maybe I approach things differently when it's Sin's only scripts I'm writing?
私は不器用なサーシャが好き。
That soft piano is perfect. It's making scenes so much more emotional.
時間を遡るのはお前たち自身だ。
待って、そんな大魔法私たちじゃとても。
ガイズで俺の魔力を分けてやる。
This is another aspect of the story that is enhanced by his opiosity, his ability to save those we the viewer have come to seriously care about. Normally we'd be nervous wrecks, but his confidence fills us with the previously mentioned confidence in his abilities. Obviously not showing it, but sword through chest plot twist. I forgot that happened. I knew the coming battle happened, but not that he attacked him there.
心臓を潰したぐらいで俺が死ぬとでも思ったか。
He said one of the things!
過去をねじ曲げようとすれば時を司る神が深海から出張ってくる。時の番人エウゴラ・ラビアズだ。
And yet another plot twist win. I remembered it happening, but it's still so cool and out of nowhere that a god creeps on over all mad at him, loving it.
ジオブレイズ。
時が止まれば無に等し。
The first time I felt actually nervous due to a spell of his being rendered harmless. That's definitely win-worthy for making me sweat a single bullet.
なぜ確かに殺したはずだ。
殺したぐらいで俺が死ぬとでも思ったか。
He said the main thing!
ただ我が後ろを歩いてこい。お前たちの前に立ちふさがるありとあらゆる理不尽を。
力を貸してアノス。こんな運命に負けたくない。私は信じる。
Such a great moment. The setup by him and then leading to this moment with the sisters. So good!
リメツ剣ベヌズ殿は万物を滅ぼす始祖の魔剣だ。
Not only an awesome looking sword, but the power it wields being pretty much as insane as he is.
我が敬愛なる魔王アノス・ボルディゴード様。
何があった？
わからぬ。おそらく何者かに殺され根源を融合乗っ取られていたのだろう。
Bringing little mysteries into the anime like this, just another element which provides a lot of depth to the story.
ミーシャ。
だけ。
ミーシャ。
ごめんなさい。
何度でも拾ってやる。
That's a lovely thing to say. I feel like in most other anime the main character would say, hey, it's okay or no problem, but here he says this and it means so much more, I think.
私、ミーシャに生きてほしかった。
私も同じ。
Seeing the sisters have their first true and genuine reunion, incredibly sweet. As always, choosing to forego an episode's ED is always worthy of an extra win, especially when it's as bright and lovely as the end to this episode was between the three of them.
褒美は何を所望だ？
願わくば転生する許しを。
Shiapu from Hunter x Hunter and also Shinzo from My Hero Academia. Also though, they skipped the OP in this one, all to give us extra content like a bunch of legends.
残念ながら鑑定を行う前に何者かに盗まれてしまいました。暫定処置として犯人が見つかるまでアノス班の点数は70点とします。
Learning how corrupt the school, its teachers and its students can be in order to try and desperately keep the status quo. It also shows the difference between the students themselves in the class and the things that Anos is trying to solve upon his return.
なんだよ。
丸見えだぞ。わざと盗ませるならもっとうまくやれ。
He's so awesome it's not even funny at this point. He's like a walking cheat mode and I love every single second of it.
どうしよう。私今アノス様と同じ空気吸って。
It's like a harem anime and I don't dislike it one little bit.
でも唯一10歳の誕生日にこの魔剣を送ってくれました。剣の残り半分はきっと父が持っています。ただ 族と笑い合える毎日が欲しいだけなんです。
This here was the ideal way of setting up the reunification of their race and why it should actually mean something to us, by giving it that very real human element and best of all, the sword being a central point, two halves, and the meaning that carries being quite poetic.
出場を望む者は剣を抜いてみせよう。もし抜けたのならばこのガイオス・アンゼヌか。
Endeavor from my hero.
イドル・アンゼオが直々に稽古をつけよう。
And Mr. from JoJo Part 5.
だったら抜かなきゃよかったな。
臆したか。その少年叩き直してくれる。
Introducing this new character nearing the halfway point of the anime was a stroke of genius given his powerful abilities on show here that at first glance seem to rival our heroes.
氷の城。
A direct example of how using magical items can enhance magic. I know I said it before, but I didn't actually think they gave any examples this season.
サーシャ、手助けが必要か？
甘く見ないで。私は魔王の配下よ。
いつまでおしゃべりしてるんだい？
俺の口を塞ぎたくば、その剣をねじ込んでみせろ。
50% of the win is for the excellent CGI on this creation of theirs, and the other 50% is for him being awesome enough to chat with her and give advice whilst taking this dude on with a friggin' stick! Some excellent looking animation right there. It's rare in this one, but when they do moves and battles, they really did pour a lot of effort into the scenes.
炎の魔法グレステ。
氷の魔法シェイド。
So firstly, I really didn't think they used magical items twice, but on top of that, they fused the attack together in a glorious looking scene. I mean, my word, just look at those damn effects, boy! Take 2 wins!
褒美をくれてやる。
だけどそろそろおしまいかな。
This battle between two extremely powerful people being done the best way, because it actually makes sense right off the bat at the start. When I compare it to anime like The God of High School, it's miles better, as that was rushed from being small battles to godlike, whereas here it's expected, so it's fine.
学校でも活躍して友達もこんなに増えて将来は立派な魔王になれるな。アノスの夢だろ。
Another scene with everyone chilling out and eating together. You know I love it, so you keep on doing it, innit? Actually putting pictures in picture frames rather than solid blocks of colour or nothing at all.
アノスは母さんのお腹の中で死にかけたんだ。
あの時は本当に必死で祈ったわ。
The plot twist reveal that he almost died before even being born, which you would never expect from him naturally, and it also adds to her character and why he means even more to her than normal.
あなた様が転生してくるのをずっとお待ちしておりました。
Hakuro from Tensura.
記憶を奪われたわしは気がつけば大精霊の森アハルトヘルンにいました。
Like, I would enjoy a bit more of a deep dive, but you cannot fault the attempts at building seemingly massive amounts of lore. Like, even here mentioning the area he's in and the different vibe to the place.
ミーシャ、食事の例は何がいい？
お礼を言うのは私。
それでは道理が通らぬ。何か希望はないか？
Again, like, I really don't think many people would write lines like that for anime characters, but I'm so glad that's the case here. It's totally unique to this anime.
なるほど。これがミーシャの好きなことか。
I know I've mentioned it, I believe twice now, but once again, using a spell in a different way to what would normally be expected. In this case, creating something that can then be sold, adding a new depth all the time to this world's magic.
この小ささで城を、いや、この街を再現して。
God, I love that! Look at the size of it!
いいの、アノスの用事。
心配はいらぬ。
Being nice to animals is always a win. Very brief, lovely city scenery shot.
アノスちゃんは魔王になれる。アノスちゃんは強くてかっこよくてすごい子なんだから。
They really are the best parents. Bless their hearts.
逃げ出したのかと思いましたよ。統一派の英雄殿。
Lemelium from My Hero.
1、2、3、4手だかきあ
kick off episode 7. Firstly, it's for writing a whole song just for this battle. Second, it's split 50-50 between the start of the battle with its animations and that badass looking giant sword and its amazing looking effects.
腕ごと首を切り落とすつもりだったんだけどね。
こちらも心臓を握りつぶすつもりだったが。
それじゃ。
Little on the gory side, but they attacked each other. It was sick and awesome.
お願い、アノス君。レイを解放してあげて。あの子に卑怯な剣を振らせないであげて。子供の足を引っ張ってまで生きたいとは思わないわ。
This anime is just so unexpectedly filled with really great parents. It's very rare as far as I'm concerned.
離してください。
では剣もろとも死んでいただきましょう。
This is exactly what I was talking about way earlier on. When you have a story like this with a main character like Anos, you really need to have something that can raise the tension, and nothing works better in this case than his parents who are weak and thus need his protection. So we get from them what we normally get from usual characters, and it works just the same. Massive credit here as well to all of the students helping to save her rather than just running and hiding.
無駄ですよ。無力で愚かなあなたたちがすることなど。
I can't get over how great the effects look though. I need help.
やめなさいと言っているのです。やめろ。
Again, not showing it, but these girls deserve a massive win for their protection of the mother to their deaths, fighting every step of the way. Also have another one for a display of just how far-reaching this battle actually goes between royalty and those striving for unity. At first it starts off as mere bullying, but then you realise it's truly life and death sometimes.
随分と教育熱心だな。黙れ。エント。
My boy Anos making it in time like a boy and fixing everything so quickly, it is great.
お前たちの名を聞こう。
エレン・ミハイス。
お前たちの名を俺は生涯忘れぬ。大義だった。
Also means a lot that he went and learnt each and every one of their names. He didn't say thanks to them all as a group as some second-rate acknowledgement of their deeds. He meant it. He'll never forget them as individuals and what they just did for his mother and him.
なあ、エミリア。怒りに身を任せる愚かな真似はせぬと思っていた。
What a stroke of genius to have him remain calm in his voice and then display his rage physically, like using the fixed, angry-looking eyes and shadow across them.
この魔王アノス・ポルティゴード様、どうかお情け。
アズヘブ。
私。
生まれ変わった気分はどうだ？
Simply put, such a badass scene. So dark and yet so awesome at the same time. Hell hath no fury like an Anos scorned, bruh. Can't show the scene itself. Lots of stabbies and then knew the tie. But yeah, brilliant. Makes her reborn as that which she hates, and then places a curse to make it so she can't take herself out of the game permanently, if you catch my drift.
お母さんはいつでもあなたの味方。
母さん。母さん。
Basically this entire scene, from the girl giving everything she's got to try and save the mother, to her feelings towards Lei as his adopted mother, that was beyond lovely.
そのキューマの円環が吸い続けている魔力が途絶えた時、シーラの精霊病を悪化させ、滅ぼす仕掛けを施しました。
The entire time the viewer is left baffled at what trick could possibly be used against him to have him lose, and then the reveal is brilliant in its simplicity, in all honesty.
どういうつもりだ？
僕は契約に背いた。じきに死ぬ。母は治せない。
Lei proving his own self-worth with a true determination of honor and most of all courage, knowing what he'll lose in the process, yet doing it all the same. Awesome rotating view like it's no big deal whatsoever. Obviously it's not groundbreaking, but hats off to them for little segments like this.
はい、これでようやくあなた様を始末することができます。
Genuinely a I forgot this happened plot twist of concern and worry. How'd I forget that?
契約の魔剣がない。示し合わせた素振りはなかったはずだ。
Bruh, I forgot this too. What's going on? I'll call my doctor later to report early onset dementia, but for now, have a win.
レイ、聞こえるか？
アノス、これは君が。
ああ、だが少々魔力を使いすぎてな。
Seeing Anos in trouble for the first time is definitely win-worthy, if only as it shows that there are limits to that godlike power he wields. For actually having the initial plan fail. Instead of it all coming together nicely, the sword breaks and Anos is forced to once again quickly cast a shield spell to protect them as we see a stroke of concern cross his face.
母さん。
できるわ、大丈夫。
ダメだ、母さん。
お母さんはあなたが一番大事なの。
母さん。
立派になったわね。愛しているわ、レイ。
Ugh, totally forgot how emotional this scene was as well. His mother meant way more to me this time though than the first.
泣くのは早いぞ、レイ。その涙は後に取っておけ。
Take another win here for having this battle be turned around by none other than his seemingly powerless mother and then Lei. Way better than having Anos yet again turn the tide with raw power in my eyes. Oh, have a win for this moment because it's awesome looking, but 90% of the win is for that music. That clicked with me immediately. If you know the name of it, please let me know down below. I think I tried and failed to find it before because I knew it right away.
かわしたはずが。かわした程度で避けられると思ったか。
He said another variation of that thing!
お前がアボス・ディルヘビアか。
Man, it's so good how they add in mystery to the pot of lovely tasting law stew that is this story.
優勝できたのはこの剣のおかげだ。父さんが思いを込めて鍛えたこの剣にはどんな魔剣にも劣らぬ力、心が宿った。父さんこそ真の名工だ。
何言ってんだろうな、あいつはよ。
Oh, so good, putting the win on his father. I tell you, their relationship as a trio was amazing to me.
母さん。
That explanation actually makes sense, yet it felt really complicated at first. What a brilliant way to bring her back. I love that. The end of episode 8 can have a win too. I liked how they chose to wrap it up. Her giving the sword over, their cute little interaction, everyone happy. It was amazing.
俺は。セルガ先生。
ザベ音に耳を貸すな、カノン。
All for one from my hero.
我が家に来たいのなら今度は俺が直々に起こしに行ってやる。
なんであなたの家に行くのにあなたが起こしに来るのよ。
Just like with his parents, how I mentioned before, I love their trio's relationship too. It's like harem, but not really. It's more friendship, but there's a tinge of that for people like me to enjoy.
アスクという精神魔法を使い、仲間の心を魔力に変えることで、より強大な力を得られる。
Bruh, I'm a forgetful little goose, so please excuse me, but have one here for just how expansive the world's magic system actually is.
サーシャ、ミサ、お前はそもそも弱い。相応の戦い方を考えろ。
This whole scene, because yes, he's being cool as always, but he's giving each of them desperately needed advice on how to fight better for what's coming like a true leader.
しかし転生した勇者のための選抜クラスが存在しているようなのです。平和となった今、なぜ転生した勇者だけを集め育てているのか。
That mystery pot of stew be smelling even better with consistent stirring and adding of law spices, eh?
トーラの森を抜けてミレイヌ砂漠を通れば1日。
何を言っている。1秒で着く。
え？こんなにあっさり来ちゃうと味気ないわね。
Well, that's gorgeous.
綺麗な目。
お前の方が綺麗だ。性質で。 汚れがない。
いいわよ。
Such a simple scene with such few words, but the impact is massive. They're saying a lot without actually saying it, and it's great how he calms her through those words too.
はーい、そこの二人、おとなしくして。勇者学院は部外者立ち入り禁止だぞ。
Kawaii!
先祖を崇めるあまり、その敗北を認められないだけではありませんか。
Asmodeus Alice from the amazing Iruma-kun.
勇者カノンの第三根源の転生者、ラオスカノンジルフォ。
Saitama from One Punch Man.
瞬きするんじゃねえぞ。すげえもん見せてやるからよ。瞬きとは。
Anos beats Saitama by blinking. Not walking on the spot very briefly.
種が割れてしまえば造作もない。リヒド。
バカな。聖剣。
I feel genuinely sorry for the mouse, but it was nothing short of epic how he cancelled out their spell after explaining it in a logical fashion, and then got rid of the failed spells and created a freaking holy sword out of it. He never fails to impress.
なんだか恥ずかしいですね。景品どれにしましょうか。
Using this moment to build something between these two, rather than having the focus continually be upon Anos and his peeps.
前にね。頑張ってるわね。
戦いのために開発された魔法は苦手です。誰かを傷つけたくありません。
滅ぼすのではなく守るために。
Taking the opportunity, just as mentioned in the previous win, to build someone else's character as well. I think that's very clever to do, to sometimes focus outside the main group and keep things fresh. They really do deserve such mad props for how they used CGI throughout. Absolutely brilliant.
そう焦るな。あの中で魔族にできることは少ない。
だからって待ってられないわ。
Goodness me, he's sick.
ですが、今日初めて思います。君の強さが僕にあれば頼みます。アドス、どうか。
Finally putting his pride to one side for the sake of his fellow students, his school, and most of all his teacher. Character growth!
そんなに怖いんならさ、湖の水全部抜けばいいじゃん。待っててあげよっか。
さっさと降りてこい。
Oh yes, take 2 max wins for that. Basically, that music kicks in whenever something utterly badass is occurring and I'm here for it. Draining the lake like that, whilst also protecting everyone at the same time, it's so awesome.
何？ジラスド。
I gotta say, even though, as discussed, the battle animations aren't outrageously good, which is to be expected, they really do make up for a lot of what's missing by using excellent effects all the time. Yeah, boy, that looks good. Well played after the last win.
破滅の魔女の由来、知らなかったかしら。反省してもらうわよ。
I forgot just how much of a badass she herself turns into towards the end of the anime.
正解5件。メイラメンテ。
Credit to them for the sheer volume of amazing looking swords in this anime. There's been like 20, I swear. Only Anos would think to chuck someone and their sword at someone attacking him with a sword.
もっと声を、勇者に力を。
私たちの声をジェルダカノンに。
俺たちの声を力に変えてくれ。
The start of an epic battle in which the new power structure truly comes into play, giving us another rare instance of feeling genuine anxiety at how powerful his new foes are.
負けられません。こんな馬鹿げた歌になど。
this is something which occurred during the course of the anime. Absolutely not showing so much of this, but the old man seemingly took her out, then Anos turned up and blew a hole through him and stopped her bleeding. It was amazing. It gets that win.
人間のために戦った。それがお前たちの英雄。魔族を何度も退けた大勇者だ。
Unexpected art style change as we learn the fundamental difference between the heroes of today's world and the one Anos knew 2,000 years ago.
ジェルガ総帥は魔族に強い恨みを抱いていた。大戦が終わってもずっと。
Learning what occurred that made people the way they are in a super simple and realistic way, especially when you take into consideration the pain he felt from losing his family 2,000 years ago, a pain he could never get over no matter how much time passed.
残念だ。終わらぬのだ。魔王を討たねばな。
Then this awful moment, a horrible plot twist showing how the true hero came to an end at the hand of one he trusted.
2000年間よく耐えた。
That music mixed with that voice acting. That hurt, man. Woo!
メドインガーサ、ゾロアンガート、エルドラザイア。愚かなり。
Sudden brand new characters on our plot twist.
帰ってくるよ。必ず君の元に。
Well, that's just a straight up well done scene, isn't it? Full of warmth.
わからぬなら教えてやろう。本物の力を。
Never ceases to entertain me when he uses overwhelming power like right here on such a massive scale. What? How the hell did I forget that this happened? Take a plot twist win!
前世の記憶を持たぬはずのお前がこの首飾りを見て一使いをもらうと言った。
I love stuff like this, in how Anos was able to figure out that he was lying about losing his memories. I'm playing Phoenix Wright at the moment, the original trilogy, and so stuff like that is great to me right now. Objection!
あまりに理不尽な人間の過ちだ。僕はそれを正さなければならなかった。君が暴虐の魔王として転生する宿命を僕は断ち切ったんだ。そして架空の魔王アボス・ディルヘビアが誕生した。君に気づかれるとは思わなかったけどね。
Giving a superb reason as to why he did the things he did. No weird kind of double bluff situation going on, but he wanted to give back to Anos the kindness he displayed all those years ago, and this was the only way he knew to do it.
ジオクライズ！
滅びるまで戦い続けるしかなかった。
Take one final win here for the effects, used probably in the most intelligent way I've ever seen in an anime.
本当に厄介な男だ、お前は。
暴虐の魔王が見ろ、あの剣。
I also totally forgot that this happened. He kind of pulled a Code Geass, before the newest movie anyway, and once again gave up his life for peace. What an absolute legend!
これはアスク。
我が名はジェルガ。
先生。
Another plot twist? Are you mad? Her true form, very sick. Stuff like this to me is brilliant. It really reminds me of certain spells used in the Rising of the Shield Hero, which by the by is back soon. Looking forward to winning the second season.
ご苦労だった。よく持ちこたえたな。根源が滅んだくらいで、俺が蘇らぬと思ったか。
Anos is back and he said the thing again!
おぞましい暴走が！ 哀れな亡霊にレクイエムを聞かせてやれ。
Seriously, man, there are a few things cooler than this. Giant floating dude made of magic wearing giant golden armor made of stolen hope. It's nuts! The variation of their song and those wonderful looking effects during the final battle, goodness me, take 2 wins for that. Another 2 max wins right here for the end to that battle. Done so well in its massive scale and size. Very much like Attack on Titan, because some anime just struggle when the proportions of combatants are that big, and for likely the final time, amazing looking effects. They really didn't have to show this bit for him, but seeing him finally at peace was totally worth it. That was incredibly sweet. Being legends and again foregoing the ED for more precious content.
これって。
お前を俺の魔法にした1万人のゼシアも面倒を見てやらねばな。
ありがとう、アノスくん。
Anos finding a way in which to save her as well is worth a final win.
ああ、戦争なら俺が。
待て、お前、その女の子は。
アノスちゃん、またお嫁さん増やしちゃったの？違うぞ。
お前、ついにそんな洒落たプロポーズまで。
Such a great ending.
ちょっと中で詳しく話を聞かせてもらえるかな？サーシャちゃん、ミーシャちゃんもご飯食べていくでしょ？はい。
キノコグラタンはあるか？
もちろん。そう言うと思ってたっぷり作ってあるわ。
Oh, go on, one more for the very end. I enjoy seeing them all heading inside to have a meal together. Everything is fine, and it makes for a wonderful end to the season. Well, that'll do it for this video. Please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Please also consider tuning into Tokyo Revengers. I took such a weird hit on that video views-wise. It's hurt the channel in general. Plus, loads of bugs on YouTube's end is hurting me. So I'd really appreciate the help by way of likes and comments and everything else. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in Season 2 hopefully, or in whatever video you choose to watch next. Bird Without a Word, Nathan Bird, Ali50, Darth Weirdo, Isael Caldera, Tyler, Ted L, Josh, Matt the Marshmallow, Kieran Robinson, Chris Harris, Yona Schal, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Steelers, Matthew Blanchett, Kim Munt, Manuel Mireles, Carnito, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Blitzcloud, Keeper, Keppa, Jeffa6263, Magnus, Kevin Nelter, Brendan Kriya, The Epic Commander, Sentimento, Gaten 2000, Storm 970, Inakami Underwater, Kaj Vorzelman, Sebastian Ramirez, Your Edvinson, Leaf Arn Hammer, Marquez.